change our navigation height to a different size. So we're going to change that to 6 rem here. Create a shrink nav class here. Obviously, this is not linked to our HTML page yet, but we will link it using JavaScript. And we want to change our background color to white, and we want to change our height to automatic, which is automatically going to calculate our height based on the height of the elements within our container. And then we also want to create a box shadow at the bottom of our header once we scroll down. And since our background color up here is now white, we need to change the color of our elements to something else, and we're going to change it to black here. And now if you refresh your page, you're going to notice nothing happens. So what we need to do is go back to our HTML page, go to the bottom right before the closing body element, and specify a script element. And obviously I recommend that you do this in a completely separate file, but in our case we're just going to add it in our HTML page to save time. So now we want to grab our navigation bar by declaring a nav variable with our const keyword and make that equal to document.query selector, and in our case we want to select our nav element like so. And then within this, we want to start creating our JavaScript functions. And now we want to create what's called an event listener. And all this is going to do is it's going to listen for a specific event. And in our case here, we're going to add this directly to our window. And we want to specify when we want our function to happen. And it's going to happen on scroll. And now we need to specify our callback function. We want to start with an if statement. And if our window dot scroll y, because if we scroll up and down, is greater than 50, and you guys can change this to whatever you want. We want to target our nav element, access the class list of our nav element by typing in class list, and then we want to add a class to our list, add shrink nav, else in our if statement. And we simply want to copy our code here, but now instead of adding, we want to remove this class. So now if we save, it's going to add if we scroll down, but if we scroll up, it's going to remove that. Notice our box shadow as well. But you guys can see that it's real jumpy and real snappy transition property on our nav element to specify all our elements here. And then we want to change our time to 400 milliseconds because that's how long we want this animation to take. Ease in and ease out. And now if we go ahead and hit save, you're going to notice that our animation eases in and eases out. Click the card above to see what happens next.